guys, hi, how's it going? How y'all doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my deck of panning for the month of November. We only have one more month before the finale and I have a complete refresh. So there's that. So if that sounds like something you're interested in watching, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I am a lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care. And ultimately, this is my self-care. I enjoy talking about makeup, coming to you, showcasing for you the good, the bad, the ugly, doing reviews, doing project pans, doing all the things. So hopefully you find that this is a channel that you also enjoy being a part of and you want to subscribe before you go. If a deck of panning sounds good to you, please keep on watching and I'll explain it all in just a few short seconds. All right, so deck of panning for the month of November. This is a project, a game, if you will, that was built by Emily here on YouTube of the channel Emily and Max. And she has a game board and all you need is a deck of cards, her game board, and your makeup collection to play, and it is super fun. This is one of the only projects on my channel at this point in time. This one is my usage goal, basically my turning products in my category or in my collection into usage items in my collection and getting some use out of my products. It is super fun because the prompts change every single month except for the face cards. So Ace, King, Jack, Queen, those don't change. Those stay the same every single month. But the 2 through 10, those change every single month. And Emily does rotate those or shuffle those every single month. So that even if you get a 2 of clubs this month, your 2 of clubs next month is likely going to be a different prompt. I do currently have 6 items in my deck of panning, even though I started with 5 in January because I ended up getting a pick 2 last month. This project does run from January to December 20th. The updates go up on the 20th of every month. So we only have this one more month and then December 20th is our finale. I'm super excited to talk to you guys about all the things that I have in this deck of panning. I'm really excited about the usage I got and all these things. And I also I'm really excited to roll in 5 new items to replace these because, as I said, I have a complete refresh. The oldest product that I still have in this deck of panning is what I rolled in August for the Queen of Spades. The Black Queen is always a pick your space. I picked the 6 of clubs, which it was a mistake because when you get the pick your space from queens, you're supposed to pick from the same suit that you had. I had a Queen of Spades. I picked from a clubs. My bad. But I did pick the 6 of clubs because it was a fragrance item and I wanted to bring in this, which is the Kayali Love Fest Burning Cherry fragrance. And when we started this, it was a little bit, I think, over the top of the Kayali symbol right there. And my goal was to finish this. And as you can see, it is completely empty. Last month we had quite a bit of use, but I had lost it for a second. So I didn't know where it was, so I hadn't gotten as much use as I wanted to, and I'm really happy that that one is rolling out this month, and it's really exciting to have another fragrance empty in my year-end empties, which you guys will see likely in January. Everything I rolled in September, I did use to the goal that I had set for them. So last month I rolled in 5 new items, and like I said, the only reason why I rolled in 5, because I did have this still outstanding, was because I got a red ace, which is pick up 2. So that being said, the red ace, pick up 2, I ended up picking up a 3 of diamonds and a 2 of hearts. The 3 of diamonds was favorite color, and if you guys know, you know, this has been like the champion of my deck of panning series. I think I've had this prompt like 5 times, 4 or 5 times this whole year. I think it's more like 4. But what I did roll in is a Nomad Cosmetics single shadow that my friend Andy had sent me. And my goal was to use this 5 times. I actually also had it in my build your own palette that I built for the fall season. So it had already received a couple of uses by the time I rolled it into this deck of panning. But I used it for the 5th time today. It is on the inner portion, kind of along the lash line of my eye look today. I do think that this is gorgeous, but it is a color that doesn't really filter into every single eyeshadow look, to be honest. I wore it almost every single time I pulled my Build Your Own palette out, though, so it did get a lot of use. I think overall in the last month and a half since I've had this Build Your Own palette open, I think I've seen like 8 uses on that shadow alone. So I'm really happy with getting the use out of that shadow that I have, but that will be rolling out. And for the 2 of Hearts, which was the other card that I pulled for the pickup 2, that was brand you own the most of, and the brand I own the most of is Natasha Denona. So I did pull in the Hyper Natural Face palette, and my idea was to no pan left behind this, and I did indeed no pan left behind this. The only ones that had received any kind of use prior to me pulling it into this was these 2 face shades and then this eyeshadow shade, but I did use all of these all over again. I did use all of them, and I think I maybe actually have a picture where I'm using all of these eyeshadow shades in one look. I don't 100% love this, but I have to be honest, I think I just did a 5 palettes. I wish I had skipped 5 palettes. I'm glad I skipped 5 palettes. I wish I hadn't skipped, like video that you guys will be seeing at some point, one of the filler videos that I have for myself. I said that I wish I had skipped this. I love Natasha Denona. I'm a Natasha Denona stan, but I don't love these face shades. And I also am not a super fan of these eyeshadow shades. None of these is matte. So this is always going to be a companion palette, unless I pull these out, stick them into a different palette and put more in. And that is the only saving grace to this palette, and why it continues to honestly remain in my collection is because Natasha allows for all of her midi and her large size palettes to kind of be mix and match palettes. I don't love this, and I don't know that I would have used it to the extent that I have used it if I had not rolled it into this deck of panning. I used all of these eyeshadows in that one look, but I do think that I had this in a couple looks. I think I had this in 1 look. I think I had this one in like 3 looks, this one in like 3 looks, and this one in like 2 looks. So like I did get a good grip ton of use out of it, and I've used these multiple times, and I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan. Happy that that is rolling out as well. I also in October rolled the 4 of Diamonds. 4 of Diamonds was a fragrance, and because I had this one that I really wanted to hone in on, instead of pulling another fragrance in, I pulled in a fragranced item into the deck of panning, and that doesn't skirt the rules at all. But the item that I did pull in was this Lancome Hypnose Drama mini mascara, because it is so fragranced. My goal was to have 10 times use on it, and I definitely got that 10 times use, but it was painful. I will tell you, this is so fragrance that it bugged out my eyes every single time I wore it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful mascara, and if you have no problems with fragrance in your mascaras, if that doesn't bother your eyes, absolutely, I would say you could get this and probably be pleased with how your lashes look at the end of the day. I could not. By 2 hours in, I wanted to tear my eyeballs out because the fragrance in this was just driving my eyeballs so dang nuts. So I did get the 10 times use out of this. As a matter of fact, the last time I used it, it was really, really dry and goopy, but it's been in use in my collection for about 3 months at this point. So, I mean, shoot, it's a mini that's got its deserved worth, I'm sure. I'm thankful that that is rolling out, and I will likely get rid of the full size that I have of this also in my collection as well in an upcoming declutter. The next card I pulled was the 7 of Hearts, which was collecting cobwebs. And for collecting cobwebs, you utilize a product in your collection that is about to expire, is expired, hasn't been used in quite some time. And for that, I did pull in this Ritual Defeat blush in the shade Desire. And I pulled it in because Ritual Defeat goes bad so quickly. But this one has been in my collection now for a couple years, and it doesn't smell bad. It still performs really well, not unlike it performed when I first rolled it in. It is the blush that is on my face today. I really love this blush, and I'm glad I got more use out of it. I did have it in here for 5 times use. I think I probably used it 8 times in the last 30 days. Today being that 8th time. I really love it. I really love it. So I'm really glad that it's not smelling bad yet. I have had a Ritual Defeat blush go bad on me within probably months. I think it had been in my collection less than 6 months. And that kind of twisted me up, right? It kind of made me mad. It made me like not want to buy anything else from the brand, but it was a beautiful blush. But because of that experience with them, I am terrified that my other Ritual Defeat products are going to go bad. I have that blush, and I think I have 2 highlighters from them as well, and all of them are still fine, and they've been in my collection for a long time. The last card that I had pulled was the 9 of Spades. For the 9 of Spades, the prompt last in October was newest. And one of the newest items that I had was this. It was the Misho contour stick that my daughter got in her BoxyCharm, and it was too dark for her, so she gave it to me as my birthday present in September. So I had a goal to use this 5 times. I think I used it probably 6 or 7 times. It was kind of battling with the other bronzer that I have in my project pan right now. As a matter of fact, as soon as I hit like the 7 times on this, I realized that I had overextended that 5 times use, and I started using the one in my project pan all over again. So this indeed did get just 7 uses, but it is a beautiful contour stick. I think that it is a little bit warm for contour, honestly, but I think it was beautiful, and I didn't mind wearing it, but it is definitely not a contour. It's definitely a bronzer. So if you didn't hear me, and if you were not counting, all of the items that were in my deck of panning are rolling out today. So I have a total refresh. Now I do have 6 items in this deck of panning, but I only had 6 items in because I pulled a pull 2 card last month. So we are just gonna pull 5 cards. I do have all of my cards here. Let me find the Joker, because like I said, you need a deck of cards. That deck of cards has to have at least 1 Joker. You want to make sure that that 1 Joker is in your deck. So if you have 2 Jokers, you want to make sure that you don't leave both Jokers in your deck. I haven't even looked at the game board yet because I've been sicker than a dog. This is one of my first videos back. I was scared that I wasn't going to get this recorded, if I'm honest with you. As I said, the face cards never change, so anything Ace, Jack, Queen, King, red, anything Ace, Jack, King, Queen, black, those always stay the same month over month. So the ones that do change are the 2 through 10, and here is a look at the game board while I shuffle. I don't like to talk about the ones I want or don't want because I feel like that kind of jinxes me. Every time I have ever said, I hope I don't get, last month I said, I hope I don't get favorite color again. And sure enough, I got favorite color again. I don't want to jinx myself. So this is the game board, and I think that there are some really great things on here. Definitely some ones I am interested in. I think definitely some ones that might be a little bit harder to pull for. So I always like to cut the deck on camera. So I'm going to cut it once and then cut it again twice and then shuffle one more time. All right, first card. We have 10 of Spades, King of Spades, Ace of Clubs, 5 of Spades, 8 of Clubs. That's crazy. All black cards. Okay, so let's look. The 10 of Spades is a graveyard project or product. So this is circles back to Graveyard Project Pan, which I don't even remember. I don't take part in that one, so I'm not sure what that is. I'm going to have to check that one out. The Black King has a pan. Oh, thank God for that, because I don't know if I would have done really well with hit pan in a month. The Black Ace is Get Out of Jail Free, which is a card that you keep in and use later if you don't like the card that you are working on or the product that you are working on. 5 of Spades is an eyeshadow. That's fun. And the 8 of Clubs is Spotlight a Panner. That's also fun. So because this is Get Out of Jail Free, I have to pull another card to replace that one. So 4 of Diamonds. 4 of Diamonds is Newest. I don't want to do Newest. I think I have all of my newest things in my Shop My Stash right now. So I don't want to do Newest. So I'm going to use my Get Out of Jail Free card on that. We're going to pull another card. Black Queen. Okay, so the Black Queen is Pick Your Space. This is a spade, so I need to pull from the spades. And I have SPF, favorite brand, mini or sample eyeshadow, which I already have in here, matches eye color, seasonal, oh the shame, affordable, graveyard. Okay, I'm gonna go pick my stuff. I'll be right back. I think that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be honest. So these 3 cards I'm gonna kind of play together, and you'll understand in just a second. But I have the King of Spades, which has a pan. I have the 10 of Spades, which is Graveyard Project or Graveyard item, which is from Emily's Graveyard Project Pan, which is either a resurrection item or a collecting cobwebs item. So something that you've had in a project before, or something that's collecting cobwebs like you haven't used in quite some time. So Graveyard product. And then the 5 of Spades is an eyeshadow. So for those, I am bringing in this. So all 3 of these shadows are going to be rolled in. This one is being rolled in for the 5 of Spades, which is an eyeshadow. It's not been in a project before, I don't think. But I recently pulled all of these out of my Winky Lux palette, which is a palette that I ended up decluttering after going after these 2 for Has a Pan. So I'm going to go after these again, one of these again for the Has a Pan. So the King of Spades is going to be this one here, which is Winky Lux Purr. And then the Graveyard, which is the 10 of Spades, is going to be this one here, which as you can see also has a pan. I just want to get as much use out of these as I can over the next month. I do want to see a minimum of 5 times use for each one of those prompts, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to see an expansion of pan on those 2 eyeshadows at the end of this. Those were really easy, pulled those in. For the Queen of Spades, we have Pick Your Space, and it is a spade, so I had to pick my space from the spades, and I am picking the 4 of Spades, which is actually a mini or a sample, and for that I am pulling in a Marc Jacobs lip gloss that is so old in my collection, and this one is called To the Moon. I have had this in a project before actually, and it's almost gone. I know that it's almost gone, even though it doesn't look like it's almost gone, and I think I can finish it if I really hone in on this over the next month. So that is the product that I'm bringing in for Pick Your Space. For the 8 of Clubs, which is Spotlight a Panner, I picked Erin Taylor, who is amazing and such a great project panner and such a wonderful person to watch. And I always know that when I want a lengthy, like, tell me all the things video, like, she has got my back, just like I have got yours and hers, because we both put out some pretty lengthy videos, but all fun and all full of all the knowledge. A couple months ago, I think it was a couple months ago at this point in time, She had a hourglass like quad, face powder quad in her deck of panning, and it has been forever since I've touched any of my hourglass face powders. And I happen to have the Elephant holiday palette from last year or a year before that. I think it was from 2 years ago, and I haven't touched this in so long. So I'm going to do this no pan left behind style. We're going to try and get as much use out of each one of these as possible. She had 20 uses on hers. I do think that if I do 20 uses total on the powders in here, I could get 20 uses because there's a combination of blushes, bronzers, and just regular powders. But that would mean I would have to use it every single day. We only have 1 month left. So let's do 10. Let's do 10 uses, and each one of these pans has to be used, and then something 4 more times. Something or some things 4 more times. So that is what I've got. So in this palette, we have the 3 cards. These 3 cards are encompassed in this palette. This card, Spotlight a Powder, is going to be for Aaron Taylor and this guy. And then the Pick Your Space is for a mini lip gloss. So I think that we did okay. I think that we did okay on this deck of panning. Honestly, I was kind of scared, but also not scared that I might get the Joker, because I mean, here we are. It's the last month, and wouldn't that be fun? Let's see where the Joker was. Aaron does this, and I have started doing it also because I think it's fun. The Joker was clear down at the bottom of the pile, so there was no chance of me pulling that Joker. These were the 2 cards, the Get Out of Jail Free and the 4 of Diamonds, which was newest item. So the ones that I traded out for one of the other cards that we pulled. And the rest of this is going to go where it needs to go in my live collection or wherever. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. What did you get? Are you excited that this is the last month? Are you sad that this is the last month? I'm excited for the finale. I'm excited to kind of have a break in this project, but also really, really crossing my fingers that Emily's bringing it back. I've not heard word that she's not, but really crossing my fingers that Emily's going to bring it back next year, because this is actually the funnest of the projects that I have going on my channel, and I'm excited for it. I do plan on starting another kind of game type project on my channel next year. I watch Jessica from Jessiquita Banana play it. I watch Steph from Still Steph play it. It is the Project Level Up, I believe it's called, where you're using an eyeshadow palette. Round 1 is every shade 1 time and you get a pan. I really just want to see a lot of usage out of my products next year. And I know that you guys just saw my makeup rehab for the month of October, and at the end of that video I'm kind of talking about my thoughts on what we're doing next year. So while I don't want to have 50 different projects on my channel, I also am thinking about a no buy here, so I need to be thinking about what I'm going to do to fill my time. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you and yours are well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best that you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life. And until next time, bye friends.